Dell in St. Louis, Missouri writes, a highly resolving system is a relative term indeed, and so much depends on where you are in the process. But it's the key to answering so many questions, and it's such a moving target. Can you please explain this term in more detail, especially how it relates to the relative importance of all the different parts to each other in the system? I find so many people stressing over cables, amps, phono cartridges, and on, as if they all held equal influence in the system building process. I have experienced that as a stair-step approach has worked best for me, and, as you have said repeatedly, start with the speakers. In stark contrast to the source is all important crowd, because anything downstream won't be worth worrying about if the source isn't as good as possible doctrine. Okay, the all-revealing system. Well, let's start. I'm sure I didn't come up with that term, but I do use it a lot. And one of the things I've noticed is many systems, including some of the ones I have owned, are not very revealing. So I'll take you back, oh gosh, this was just after I left Genesis Technologies. Terry and I were still in Vail. We had just restarted PS Audio with 4 boys in our home in Avon, Colorado, which is just outside of Beaver Creek, if you've ever been there. We lived over in what's called the Eagle Vale area. And we had a nice big house, but we had 4 teenage sons, and they took up the house without question. It didn't have any room for a stereo system. So I rented a spot out in Avon up the hill towards Wild Ridge and built myself a listening room. It was really cool. And some of I think, did I do videos back then? I don't think I did, but there might have been pictures of it. It was a cool studio. I loved that place. It was my spot. Walked up the stairs, opened it up, and I was in my little sanctuary. And I had a bench where I could work on my electronics, but mostly it was a really wicked cool reference room. And I had a pair of Revel loudspeakers. Kevin Fakes, the designers, I really loved the sound of those Revels. Bought them, put them up, changed them, did everything to them. They sounded great. It was a really fun system. But they were not revealing as a speaker. Sounded great, not revealing. What did that mean? It means that changes in circuitry that I was working on at the time, changes in this or that, cables and all that, were really hard to hear. I wasn't hearing those changes. Arnie or somebody would send me a new cable. Hey, this is really great, try it. I'd put it in the system, like, I think I hear a difference, but maybe not. And it occurred to me it took me a good year, it was the speakers. They were not revealing. They were, I know people don't like it when I name things, but I'm not being critical, because these speakers are loved by a number of people. Sonus Fabers, great speaker. My son owns a pair of Sonus Faber. Great speakers. They sound musical and lovely, but they're not revealing. They do not reveal differences, small or large, in stuff. Okay. And I'm sure there's plenty others. On the opposite side of the coin, there are tons of speakers that are exactly the opposite. Very, very revealing. As a designer, as somebody who wants to hone in and tweak a system, I needed something that was revealing. So I sold the Revels. I got a pair of Magnaplaners. Those are planar magnetic speakers, half the price. They are extremely revealing, and I was happy. So a revealing system speaker is one that reveals small differences and big differences in the areas of hi-fi that we concern ourselves, like Oh, differences in recordings, cables, electronics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I hope by that example that kind of makes sense. Everything that we have ever built at PS Audio is always directed in that same vein. If you buy a PS system, it will be revealing. You put a new set of cables in, you will hear the difference because it's a revealing system. Other systems aren't so revealing. And that's okay. Not everybody wants a revealing system, for goodness sakes. I get it. Because it doesn't mean it's not musical, it's not enjoyable. Oh my gosh, that Revel system, my son's Sonus Fabers, makes music all day long. Great stuff, just not revealing. So, hope that helps. All right, thanks.